Let's have right at it with router 3. Let's bring the live equipment up, or the updates to router 3. And as mentioned at the end of the last video, the bosses now want us to filter that one internal route, but still allow router 3 to have the other 3 routes in its table. So let's make that happen and then answer the questions that we had at the end of that video. So I'll jump out of there. We'll do an access list 3 and now do a deny just for the particular one route we want to filter. And then we can do an access list 3 permit any. So far so good. Now let's go under router GRP 100. And we're going to filter routing updates in or out always. We're going to do out. And this is what I wanted to show you way at the bottom of this list. Now I could specify the route, or excuse me, the interface leading to router 3 and just filter router 3's updates. I could do that. What I want to show you though is what happens when you have a general distribute list and then a specific distribute list. And by that I mean I'm just going to do distribute list 3 out right here, and that's it. So how is that going to affect what I did in the previous video, the router 5 filter? So let's go ahead and take a look. That's a legal command. A lot of people don't know that. You know that now, and that's why I'm talking low so no one else will hear. But in all sincerity, a lot of people don't realize you can just do distribute list, call it the ACL, do the in or out bit, and then that's it. And now you'll notice, you know, both relationships have resynced, both adjacencies. And let's do a show IP GRP neighbor. And you can see they're still with us. They just resync. That's what I love about this now. With the IGRP, you're not always losing the adjacency. So we've had a reset. Let's go to routers 3 and 5 and see what the effect of that was. And the internal route is gone. And I was throwing internal, external in there as kind of a red flag, a red herring really, if you will. Because exams do that every once in a while. It's like, oh, and you're starting to think, well, is there a special way to do internal, external? That isn't what we were concerned with. What we just wanted to do was take that 3110/24 route and make sure router 3 didn't have it anymore. So that we kind of expected. What we might not expect, perhaps, is what we see over on router 5 now. And we still don't see anything. And let's make sure nothing changed with the adjacency. Nope, it's been up for an hour and a minute, so everything's good there. So we wrote one distribute list that was very specific, that mentioned an interface. We wrote another distribute list under the same routing protocol that didn't mention one at all, it just said out. So the question's always been which one of those takes precedence, and now you know which one does. It's not a question for you. A general distribute list, one that does not indicate a specific interface or protocol, does not overwrite or overrule a distribute list that specifically mentions an interface or protocol. Makes sense when you think about it. You know, you've got one that just says, okay, take this one route out of everybody's update. But if you've gone to the trouble of saying, okay, but on this interface, I want this ACL applied to this distribute list, it's a different distribute list, and that one will remain applied. So that will not even be a question for you, whether you see it on the exam or in production networks. But on occasion, we're going to have to do more than a simple permit or deny when it comes to our redistributed routes. Sometimes we might just need to set different metrics for different routes, and maybe even change an OSPF external route type or two without changing them all, because we know the big difference between the E1 and the E2 routes with OSPF. We can do that with a route map, and we'll start doing that at the beginning of the very next video.